Wrestling is now. I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Wrestling is now had its debut show from Roselle, New Jersey, and I wouldn't say it was a long and winding road to get there. I took a train from Penn Station, got off at Elizabeth, and took a lift ride to the building. We actually kicked off with a pre-show match, which pitted Bad Brad Benson versus Johnny Rambo versus Brian Matthews. I didn't apologize for not getting the name of the gentleman who accompanied him to the ring for the match. And the fourth participant, I apologize for not getting his name. This was actually a pre-show match, and the competitor whose name I did not get was victorious over Bad Brad Benson, Johnny Rambo, and Brian Matthews. Then the main show began, which saw Danny Miles defeat Randy Royce, who was accompanied ring by Leon Mason. Next up was a four-way tag team match, as we saw Chris Cage and the Superstar Whiplash, the Zoltan, do battle with Tommy Rand and Sage Chance, the Slime Balls, Seth and Micah Cortez, the Audacity, and Ian Aldwin and Cyrus DeVille, the End, which was an elimination style. The Slime Balls got eliminated first, and then the Audacity was eliminated, and the End wound up victorious over the Zoltan, Slime Balls, and Audacity to win the matchup. Next was a singles match, which saw Adrian Santos. Unless I'm wrong, he wrestled in Fighting Spirit Wrestling as Cholo, and then later on as Magma. He went one-on-one with Dominic De Niro. Pretty good competitive matchup these two men had. But one thing I have to say, I didn't get his name. I never saw him referee before. He was wearing a hat. And I saw James McGrady, aka Jumbo Man. Once again, happy birthday. And he's out there, I guess, trying to guide him and show him what to do. Eventually, Ref Ozzy comes out and he taps Santos on the leg. I don't know if that's some type of thing that they signal of sorts. De Niro put the submission hold on Santos, and the match was over as Dominic De Niro picked up the win over Adrian Santos. Next up, in a women's matchup, we saw Amber Nova take on the Kick Demon Janai Kai. Now, these ladies, had a good match. They were, had a good match, but the crowd seemed dead for this one. I don't understand it. I mean, the ladies were doing their part, and I don't know if the crowd just didn't catch on, or what the deal was. But Kick Demon Janai Kai was victorious over Amber Nova. Next up was a six-way matchup, as we saw Yo-Yo versus Bryant Starr versus Mr. Main Event Salvatore Savelli versus Jay Bougie versus Chris Rex versus a man whose name I did not get. I apologize. Good six-way matchup here, which saw Salvatore Savelli defeat Yo-Yo, Bryant Starr, Jay Bougie, Chris Rex, and the one participant whose name I did not get. After the match, Savelli wanted the microphone. I don't know if he even got in a word, because out from the back came Dream World, who stands like 7 feet tall, and he attacked Yo-Yo, Bryant Starr, and the guy whose name I didn't get. At that point, they did go to intermission. They went to intermission, and then the action resumes with what I thought was going to go on last: the six-man tag pitting Hernandez, Danny Limelight, and Slice Boogie 5150, accompanied the ring by Dr. Julius Smokes, as they did battle with Jose, Joel, and Will Maximo, all 3 members of the SAT. Eventually, I forgot which one of the 3 brothers got the microphone, and I forgot what he said, but Chavo Guerrero Jr. comes out, and it becomes an 8-man tag team matchup, which saw the SAT and Chavo Guerrero Jr. defeat 5150 and Dr. Julius Smokes. Chavo scored the pinfall. I forgot who he pinned. I don't know if it's me, but it looked like Hernandez lost muscle. I remember he was like ripped to shreds long ago. He still got muscle, but it's not as big as it used to be. They took the microphone after the match. I forgot what they said. Chavo on the SAT, that is. Next matchup, out comes Dino Constantino, and he gets the microphone. He said he was supposed to wrestle Richard Holiday, but he said Richard didn't show up, and instead he ends up wrestling from the famous Samoan family, Lance Anoa'i. And the match was on, and eventually Dino hits Lance with some type of square item, pins Lance to win the matchup, and when referee Jumbo Man James McGrady goes to raise his hand, the thing is, Dino put the square item that he used in the match, he had it put under his armpit, and when McGrady raised his hand, the square object fell out, and McGrady promptly reversed the decision, Lance Anoa'i defeating Dino Constantino on disqualification. Then it was main event time, as the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu did battle with the cause of it all, Joey Conway. I don't know if they didn't wait for the bell to ring, but they're brawling out on the floor, and Fatu threw Conway into like a bunch of chairs near me, and threw him into chairs on the other side of where I was sitting. What he was doing. Eventually they came back in the ring, and I forgot how it ended, but Jacob Fatu defeated cause of it all, Joey Conway, and eventually out comes the SAT, Lance Anoa'i, and eventually Chavo Jr. They all got beers in their hands, and they decided to celebrate the success of the show. And yes, Jacob Fatu, after seeing it in action, definitely does resemble his father, the Tonga Kid. I don't know if that family is ever going to, if that Samoan family is ever going to stop producing wrestlers. Let's see. And then also, Pat, of the Boulevard Bullies, who ring announced the show, he announced the winner of the 50-50 raffle. And, very good show. And my understanding, a few other promotions are planning to have shows in this very building. So, I don't know if I'll get to go see them, but nonetheless, time for some personal notes. Great seeing Pat from the Boulevard Bullies, James McGrady. Was it Joel, I think, noticed me before the show? Can't remember who else. Let's see. Oh, well, apparently, aside from Richard Holiday, apparently Ace Romero didn't show up. He was going to team with Dominic De Niro to face the Zoltan. And in the end, we're going to face the Audacity in a standard tag team matchup. I thought Suntan was going to be a part of this show too, but I don't know what happened there. Here's some memorable quotes time. Ow! Robert Lottie! Sage chants after being hip-tossed by one half of the Audacity. I look forward to that review, Robert. Pat after the second match. Come on, make some noise, Robert! Dominic De Niro, right before he entered the ring for his match with Adrian Santos. I know I'm good looking, but I don't swing that way. Salvatore Savelli to the sixth man, whose name I didn't get in the six-way match. He tried to give Savelli a low blow from behind, but Savelli turned around and caught him in time and said that to him. Now, no return date was announced for the next Wrestling Is Now event. Of course, I do have flashbacks of Fighting Spirit Wrestling, which the Zoltan, the End, the SAT, and so many on this show used to be a part of long ago. Well, that was one person I was thinking as this show was drawing near. I don't know. And I think, and by the way, before anyone wonders, no, it's not a certain guy who is not going to receive an ounce of fame out of me. This particular guy, let's just say, he's got his head in the sky. But the one person I'm thinking of that I'm surprised I did not see was Elena. I don't know. I mean, Joelle, I don't know if you and Elena are still together or not. Or she just could not be there. But, you know, she's the one person I kept thinking about as the show was drawing near. I thought she'd be working the door and I didn't see her there. Okay. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Wrestling Is Now is on to something. Hopefully we'll get this chant going as time goes on. Wrestling is now. Wrestling is now. Wrestling is now. Wrestling is now.